All right, I think that's enough lightning. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, happy Wednesday! It's Acolyte Wednesday. It's Star Wars Wednesday. We back in the Star Wars world. I'm so excited to talk about this show. I also have a little bit of Marvel news to talk about. When I say a little, I'm emphasizing a little. I'm going to give a little bit of time for people to come in. This is going to be a full show. We're going to talk about that Marvel news. We're going to talk about the Acolyte. I'm going to be talking about the Acolyte in spoiler fashion, because essentially I'm going to be recording my review that I'm going to clip out for uh, you know consumption of the folks who aren't going to like come to this live stream. Right? You guys know how this thing works. So yeah, welcome in. Have your comments ready. Have your opinions about the Acolyte ready. We're not going to take too long to get to it. I can promise you that, because I don't want to drag the horse. I don't even know what drag the horse means. Um, but people come up with phrases every day. You think that they came up with "May the Force be with you" like on a regular Tuesday afternoon? Maybe they did, but that's my point. It just happened. So first things first, I definitely want to shout out to my channel members. I wish I had a graphic up for them, but I know two of them are in the chat, or one of them is in the chat right now, which is my guy, 80s Kid from the 90s. And 80s Kid, just want to say what's up to you, man. Thank you so much for joining the stream. The Acolyte is my new favorite Star Wars show. Yo, here's the thing. I'm so happy to hear that. And here's the reason why I'm happy to hear that is because I know that you've had a lot of like post George Lucas criticism of Star Wars, rightfully so. Man, you're right to criticize them as much as you want, but I'm so happy to hear that you're enjoying this show. You know what I mean? Because I never want to come into anything thinking like, okay, so now that such and such isn't here, or now that this time has passed, everything's always going to be bad now. No, you got to come into things with like an open mind, right? Things can turn out to be bad, or like the next four episodes of the Acolyte could be trash, right? I don't know that. All I know is I did enjoy the first two episodes, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Also, we have yeah, Soul is my new favorite Jedi because he's too damn cool. Qui-Gon's spot has been taken already. Oh, after 2 hours. Well, I guess Qui Gon only had 2 hours too before he got, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the chest. But wow, already Qui Gon's being replaced. That is impressive. So yeah, this show is definitely working for you, I would say. So cool, man. Hey, Kenny Sparks. Hey, Collector Movie Man. How are you doing? What have you collected this week? Let me know in the comments. Dave Show channel member. What is up, Dave Show? How are you? Hopefully things are going well, man. I saw that you had a little bit of good news earlier with some with some job prospects, and I'm so happy for you, dude. I'm excited for you, man. You are the man with the master plan, and you jam. Collector Movie Man also says I will either watch the Acolyte when Daredevil comes out next year, or if they announce a 4K before Daredevil comes out, and that's usually because like you like to be selective of when you subscribe to streaming services, which makes total sense, right? That makes a lot of sense. And also, just let me know how are you guys doing. I just want to hear about your days. Here, if you guys are eating. Here's if you guys are drinking. Not too much. Hopefully, you're not drinking and doing anything delicious. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. You said, oh, 80s Kid says once the show's done, we should do a tier list. I'm open to that 100% because I really feel like I haven't done. Well, I know for a fact I haven't done a tier list of the Disney Plus or the Disney Plus shows. I haven't done a tier list of Star Wars in general, which I think will be a little bit difficult because I don't like ranking shows against movies. I like they're two totally different mediums to me. So sometimes it gets a little bit difficult. They both give me something a little bit different, which is something that we'll also talk about when I talk about the Acolyte a little more. But yeah, I'm excited for the rest of this show. I'm so happy that they dropped two episodes. And another thing is, I don't think that they needed to drop two episodes. I thought the first episode was super strong, but I'm glad. I'll take it for sure. You know what I mean? So that's definitely something. I'm going to turn this light down a little bit. That's definitely something I'm excited about too. He said, hopefully next Tuesday is the end of the job searching. Also, the phone interview went meh. Kind of didn't like how they went about it. I hear that, man. Like the thing that they tell us is that when we're job hunting is that they're not just interviewing you, you're interviewing them because you want to know like, is this a place I actually want to work? Like, is this a job like I actually want to spend my time at? So that makes sense. So if you're not feeling them, that's just as valid as them not feeling you because you never want to be in a situation where you're at somewhere where you're like suffering and slogging all day unless you got to just bite the bullet and eat it because sometimes you got to do that. You know what I mean? So here's the thing. It's 80 degrees outside. I'm in a hoodie. I'm in an NBA hoodie because I'm ready for the finals to start. And my wife brought me hot cocoa. I don't know why, but I love hot cocoa, so I'm not going to complain about it too much. So, also in my Darth Vader mug, which seems appropriate right now. So yeah, hot cocoa in the Darth Vader mug, and we did talk a little bit about Darth Vader comics earlier today. I'm doing really good. I just got Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2 on 4K, and I also got the third one, but it came damaged, and I almost put my review out for American Sniper on 4K. I'm so sorry to hear that Bad Boys. What's that? Which one is that? For Life. I'm so sorry to hear that For Life got damaged for you, my guy. Like that sucks. But you did get 1 and 2, and I'm glad that you got those. 2 was definitely my favorite Bad Boys movie, for sure. And I do love the first one, absolutely. And I think I'm gonna watch the first one later on tonight. So, or not the first one, the third one later on tonight because I'm going to the movies to see Bad Boys 4 tomorrow. Bad Boys Ride or Die tomorrow. Um, Dave said, would love to finish up the job stuff so I can focus on money and turning the channel around. I hear that. I totally hear that. When I was out of work from August until I want to say about a month and a half ago, at this point, wow, it's been a month and a half. It was rough. It was hard to focus on YouTube because honestly, at that time, that was all I had to focus on other than getting a job. And even though I felt like I was putting out good content, it was difficult to feel like I'm being productive when I'm not bringing in money that I want to be bringing in. So I definitely know the feeling, man. I'm gonna skip to you, 80s kid. My dream job right now is to work at the Legos. Yo, that would be dope because I love Legos. I think I showed you guys last time. I actually need to get back to doing Legos because I got a Lego TIE Fighter that I've had since Christmas of 2022. So I want to put this together at some point, and I also got this guy at the same time. This guy that I've had since Christmas of 2022. So this has been in my house for like over a year and some change. So at some point, I need to put those together. Yeah, what else we got here? Yeah, Hoff 80s kid always coming with the great jokes. Hoff chocolate is hilarious. I'm on Letter. Oh, you're on Letterbox now. Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? I think I saw that you sent me your Letterbox link. So cool. I will definitely follow you on Letterbox. That's what's up, man. Looks like Bad Boys is already struggling to get seats for opening weekend. From what I can tell, hopefully not another Furiosa situation. Maybe, maybe not, man. I'm like it's got a lot of positive reviews, which is what I'm excited about. So hopefully it does well at the box office because I actually read on the Hollywood Reporter website. I want to say last week that they are interested in doing Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are interested in doing a fifth one, even with their old selves, dragging their old selves around. And depending on if this movie is going to be good tomorrow, I will be up for it. I'll be down for it for sure. I still need to get that Kenobi fighter. Yeah, man. I have no idea how much it costs because it was a Christmas gift. But yeah, one of these days I'm going to put it like together. I actually accidentally figured out how to have my camera facing forward and have another camera of mine like facing downward, which I didn't know that I could do. Let me actually show. So I was actually thinking about streaming while putting a Lego set together, but that would be kind of weird, right? So yeah. Who knows? Do you think the Will Smith slap will hurt this film. I honestly I don't think so. Honestly, because it's no one's really talking about it. It's not circulating in the news. No one's being interviewed about it. Like, hey, will you be, going to see the Will Smith Bad Boys 4 uh, or not because of the slap? I haven't seen anything like that. And honestly, like that slap was what was it 2 years ago now? So I'm not really. I personally don't care about it. I know some people might, but I don't think enough people will care about it to not go see this movie. Right? If this movie isn't seen, it's just because people didn't want to see it, or people honestly these days can't afford to go to the movies like that. So yeah, I don't think that that will be the determining factor over whether or not people go see Bad Boys. I got the oops, my bad. I got the Falcon and Winter Soldier on 4K Steelbook and Rango 4K Steelbook, and also got The Bridge on the River Kwai. It's a movie from 1957 about World War II. Dope, man. Glad to see you getting your collection up. That's what's up. I recently heard that Bill Burr said cancel culture is over. I don't know who determines those things. Like, I don't think any one single person determine those things. I would love to hear his reasoning at some point from his own mouth. But for me, like the cancel culture is uh, cancel culture is complicated because you have people who use it the right way, and then you have people who pervert it. And I think that there's a lot of misconstrued notions, or yeah, misguided notions when it comes to cancel culture. Um, uh, just real quick, in terms of cancel culture and what have you, because I definitely want to get to Marvel and Star Wars. I don't want to have a whole live stream about cancel culture, but essentially, like in my opinion, canceling it only impacts people who can be canceled, if you know what I mean. Like it has to be someone who will actually lose revenue based on their own actions. And a lot of people don't lose revenue based on their own actions. People call people cancel all the time, and then they're still booking shows, they're still doing things like that. And also, like I think the if you're going to cancel somebody, there has to be a purpose to it, right? So you can definitely cancel somebody because they've had wrong actions, but I think it's on the person who's doing it's on the individual. To me, canceling somebody is an individual decision. It's literally up to you as an individual. I don't believe in I thought we canceled this person. I believe in I canceled this person. I'm not going to deal with them anymore. They're not my cup of tea. I'm just not going to bang with them. So the societal canceling thing, that's up to people. For me, it's an individual thing. But let's get to Marvel. Let's get to Star Wars. And let me get to these last few comments. I'm gonna get to two more comments, and then I'm gonna start on the Marvel news, and then we're gonna go into my opinions on the Acolyte. All right. So I'm so bad at using Letterbox. I mean, it takes some practice. I mean, there's a lot of movies to log. That's for sure. I think I have 1,353 movies logged, or something close to that, right? I can't believe I've seen that many movies, but apparently I have. Also, and Glory on 4K Steelbook, it has Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, and some other famous actor. I can't think of it takes place during the war. Yeah, so here's the thing. I've never seen Glory, and I need to. I need to because I know it's a classic. So I definitely got to see Glory at some point. And also, even though we're talking about Marvel, even though we're going to be talking about Star Wars, throw in your questions about whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. I'm going to talk about the Acolyte. I'm going to talk about this Avengers 5 news. But I still want to field whatever questions that you guys got. This is my show, but it's your show at the same time. So let's get to it. Let's start. I'm going to get to your comments in a minute, but I do want to start on our first bit of news, which is our Marvel news for State of the Franchise. Let me get the right. Whoops. Let me get the movie tickers right over my head. Let me get the right Jones on the screen. And here, hold on one second. Let me pull this up. Whew. And here we go. I forgot I had that on the loop. Well, so let me start that over again. One second. So, in this edition of State of the Franchise, we're actually going to be tackling some really interesting Marvel news, some Avengers 5 news. And the news today, or I think this actually came out yesterday, was that Matthew Shankman. I swear I said Matthew Shankman, but I meant Sam Levy. Uh, One second. Sam. Sean Levy. There we go. All right, so let's start that over. Let's start that over real quick. Here we go. Final time, I promise. So, really interesting news coming out of the Marvel side of the universe in our State of the Franchise. Sean Levy, who is the director of Deadpool and Wolverine, with the popcorn bucket to save us all, or to creep us all out, or to sexually arouse us, or to get that little bit of butter. Anyway, so Sean Levy, who Marvel has had a lot of confidence in, it seems, has been in talks to direct the next Avengers film, Avengers 5. And I found that this was really interesting. And let's talk about what the Hollywood Reporter had to say. From Deadpool and Wolverine to Avengers 5. One second. Yeah. Yeah. From Deadpool and Wolverine to Avengers 5. Well, yep. From Deadpool and Wolverine to Avengers 5. The development is, yeah, sorry about that. From Deadpool, and I can't talk tonight for some reason. From Deadpool and Wolverine to Avengers 5, the development is characterized as very early. Sources say Marvel and Levy are talking about the project and what the studio gave the latest script to the filmmaker late last week. But sources say that other filmmakers are in the mix for the high profile gig. The reason is there is reason for some caution. Marvel previously and quietly offered the directing gig to Levy in mid March, but at that point the filmmaker turned it down. Scheduling was the concern at the time, as Levy is moving from various duties on Deadpool and Wolverine. The article actually goes on to say that not only was he dealing with some Deadpool and Wolverine, but he's also directing 2 episodes of Stranger Things. And I think that it's really interesting that they're tapping Sean Levy, or potentially tapping Sean Levy, for this role, because it points to 2 different things, right? One, it points to their confidence in Deadpool and Wolverine and how much they think that this movie is going to bang. And I think that part of that confidence is also saying, you directed a great movie for us. The people who are going to see it are going to believe it's great. And we have like the wherewithal, and we have like the business acumen to know that if the person who just directed our biggest movie in years, which it has the potential to be, is attached to Avengers, more people will have confidence in Avengers 5. So I'm really interested in seeing like how that conversation so I'm really interested in seeing like how that conversation ends up going, because part of it too is Deadpool and Wolverine is kind of a team up movie. You have Deadpool, obviously, you have Wolverine, and I think and I know and I believe that there will be more to join this team of this team up movie, right? There are rumors of Jennifer Garner, who used to be Elektra. Was it Jennifer Garner? I believe it was Jennifer Garner. Yeah, there's rumors of Jennifer Garner. Excuse me. There's rumors of Jennifer Garner reprising the role as Elektra in this film, which could also lead to other former Fox outside of the X-Men characters kind of joining, including maybe Daredevil comes back in the form of Ben Affleck. I doubt it, but maybe it'll happen. Who knows, right? So I think that this news could be. I think that this news also points to the fact that they're confident in a script that they have, because in the article it points to them sending because in the article it points to them sending the script over, and the script was actually done by the same person who wrote on Loki. And Loki, I love Loki. I don't know if you love Loki. Let me know in the comments if you love Loki. I love Loki, and I thought that Loki season 2 ended well. And not only is the person who's writing the film, and not only is the person who's writing the film really good at Loki, they're also the person who helped craft like what the TVA became, and the TVAs in Deadpool and Wolverine. And I'm sure the TVA, sure, I'm guessing, but I'm sure the TVA will be a part of future installments of Marvel, including some of our Avengers films. So let me know in the comments what you think about this development of Sean. Let me know in the comments what you think of this development of Sean Levy possibly becoming the next director of the next director of the Avengers 5. And yeah, talk to you guys next time. So let's go to the comments and see what y'all have to say about this. I'm a stuttering Nancy tonight, and I'm just like completely off my game. But we in this joint, right? So let's go. Next here, let's talk a little bit. All right, so yeah, collect a movie, man. And I got Glory. Yeah, I did read that one. Oh, I watched Quiet Place for the first time last night. Thought it was okay. Hopefully the second one hooks me. I actually love the first Quiet Place movie. I absolutely love it. It's like one of those few experiences I actually had in the theater where, because the movie itself, the characters are demanded to be quiet. I was quiet in the theater, not like normal theater quiet. I'm talking about I'm scared to open up my snacks kind of quiet because I don't want to rustle. I don't want that alien to come through the screen. You know what I'm saying? So I had a lot of fun watching that movie. That movie was intense. If you watch it in the theater where you're stuck, you shouldn't be on your phone and that kind of thing. Like, that movie is intense. And I will also say the second one I like just as much, which is rare for sequels, right? So the second one is awesome. John Krasinski's not in it, obviously, because of the end of the first A Quiet Place movie. And yeah, man, I thoroughly enjoy A Quiet Place, and I'm looking forward to the prequel that's coming out in a couple weeks, starting Lupita Nyong'o, right? And Jim Hudson. I'm really looking forward to that, and a lot of the reason I'm looking forward to that because I'm interested in seeing, obviously, when the aliens first come to Earth, because we all want to. I don't know if we all want to know the origin story, but I want to know the origin story. And one of the key things I find interesting about it is that the aliens land in New York in this movie. New York is loud as shit, right? So if New York is loud as shit and everywhere around New York is loud, how do they eventually figure out, oh no, we got to be quiet? And how do you keep New York quiet? So that's really going to be the interesting part, because there's always going to be alarms. There's going to be ambulances, cop sirens, regular people like just playing music. New York is not a quiet place at all. I'm from Philly. I'm like 2 hours up or down the road, I guess, from New York, and yeah, neither place is quiet. We would have a hard time with noise canceling aliens. It takes place during the Civil War. Sorry, my speech. No, it's all good. It's all good, buddy. I'm thinking about Ryan Gosling would be a great Hal Jordan. I can see that. I can see Ryan Gosling being a good Hal Jordan. I'm not against that at all. Yeah, I can see that. A great example have great example. People have been trying to cancel Nickelback for 20 years with no real reasons. Well, I think the reason is they don't like their music. I'm not against Nickelback. I'm not for Nickelback. Nickelback doesn't cross my mind, basically. So maybe they're canceled in my mind just by default. Who knows? And got the Manchuria Candidate remake. It has Denzel Washington and Meryl Streep. And I also got a movie, Point Your Wagon. It's a musical with Clint Eastwood. That's what's up. That's what's up. I also got a movie called High Plains Drifters. It's a Western movie with Clint Eastwood. And then got Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise, the first one, and the second one. That's all I've gotten. That's what's up, man. I'm glad to hear that you're able to collect a movie, man. That's awesome. So I have two more items coming and then that is all. And then that is at one's the movie, and one is a House of Dragons Funko. Oh, okay, cool. That's what's up. House of Dragons starts soon, really soon. I'm looking forward to that show. So Deadpool is now even more important. Yeah, yeah, I would say so. Especially if he does get that job, I would absolutely believe that Deadpool's level of importance has raised up because I don't think Deadpool is going to be done after this. I think that Deadpool is going to be a mainstay. I love the theory that some fans have had about Deadpool becoming like the new Stan Lee that pops up in the background of every movie. I would love for that to happen. Who knows if that is going to happen? That's just a theory. And I think it's just like one of the fan service things that people want. Even in like the most serious movies, people probably want Deadpool to just pop up in the background. I would love that. So yeah, but he's probably going to become more serious than even that. I think like a cool thing to do would be to take Deadpool from being just the jokester that he is. I mean, I know he completes some really important missions, but to actually make him integral to the Avengers films, right? He doesn't need to be front, like he doesn't need to be the leader, but I feel like having him in a situation where he's put in a position where what he's doing is important to defeating whatever villain that they come up with, whether it's still going to be Kang or it's going to be like someone else. I think that that would actually be really cool, and it'll be cool. Like it'll be rewarding for the fans, and it'll be rewarding for uh, Ryan Seacrest. No, I cannot remember this gentleman's name. I'm having a tough time with names tonight. Ryan Reynolds. It'll be cool for Ryan Reynolds too. Yep, yep, yep. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. What else? I don't want to skip anything. Yeah, it was Jennifer Garner. And you know what's funny about that? That rumor about Jennifer Garner, actually, I don't even think it was a rumor. I think that was like stated as a matter of fact. Like that rumor about Jennifer Garner being in Deadpool and Wolverine, like as Elektra, that happened so long ago that people don't even talk about it. Now, if I go and see this movie and she's not in it and I look like a dumbass, well, that's just on me for just believing something I heard a while ago. Because I was pretty sure that they came from like a legitimate source. I'm not sure. I would really appreciate it and like to know your feedback. Of what? What would you like my feedback on? This is some marvelous news. I love that. 80s kid. That's what's up. Yo, Dello Movies. What's up, man? Thanks for joining the stream. Happy to see you as always. Definitely going to check out the Acolyte when I get some money. Still going to hang out in here. All right, just to let you know, I'm going to be talking about it in like a spoiler fashion. So hang out if you want, but I just want to forewarn you. LL Deadpool showing up in the background. Yeah, I would love that, man. I would really think that would be dope. I would love that. If somebody just said Bomba Clot in the chat. And I have a chat going. So let me actually close these notifications because these people be going off in here. Mute server until I turn it back on. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that would be great. I totally agree. And there's more. So tomorrow I'm seeing The Watchers, and then Friday I'm seeing Bad Boys 4. Cool. I'm actually going to be doing the reverse. Tomorrow I'm going to be seeing Bad Boys 4, even though I haven't got my tickets yet, which is dumb. And on, I don't know, Friday, potentially Saturday, I'm going to be doing The Watchers. By the way, I should definitely make this known now. I'm not doing Friday live streams anymore. I think that it was just a dumb idea. And the reason being is because it's Friday night. I run a movie-related content channel, and I was doing a live stream at 7:30 on Friday. Where are people going to be at 7:30 on Friday? The movies. Why would they be in my live stream if most people are going to be in the movies to eventually come back here and talk about the movies that we're going to be talking about? So it just didn't make any sense. So I'm actually going to be moving to Wednesdays, once a week still. I thought about doing a Monday and a Friday situation because those are actually my days off. But I will try to stick to just doing it on Wednesdays, probably at an earlier time than 8 o'clock. I was actually in the garden with my wife earlier today. You know what I'm saying? Tilling the land a little bit, pulling some crops. She did most of the work because I don't know anything. I was trying to, avoid being poisoned out there. But yeah, so Wednesdays will probably be my day to stream. Hopefully earlier than 8 o'clock or 8:30 at this point. I would love to start streaming at like 7:30 so I can get you guys in and out of here at a decent amount of time. Yeah, so thanks for your patience, guys. Meteor Man better be in it. Meteor Man being in it would be something of a miracle. So yeah, we got to get Meteor Man in this joint. We got to get Blank Man in this joint. We got to get all the mans. You know what I'm saying? The mans in them. Don't know if I trust Disney Marvel with inter with in. I'm sorry. Don't know if I trust Disney Marvel with inserting Deadpool in every movie. The temptation of him making a stupid joke, even at the most tense moments, might be too much for them to resist. I think that there's a way that you can do it. I think the way that you do it is literally don't have him say anything. I mean, truth be told, it doesn't even have to be Ryan Reynolds. It could just be Deadpool walking in the background, or like going up a flight of stairs, or like reading his newspaper or something like that, or flipping off a building in the background. I don't even think that he has to interact with the characters at all. I think it could literally be like one of those Easter egg things. Like if you see like if you're watching the Spider-Man movie and you see like the Daily Bugle in the background, it's like, oh, that's the Daily Bugle. You're like, oh, that's Deadpool doing something crazy, right? And then you just move on with your movie. You never address it. That's the way to do it. You put Deadpool in the background doing something crazy, and you never address it. And you also never do it during those tense moments that you're talking about, right? So if we're doing like the helicarrier scene in Avengers, not Avengers, Captain America, Winter Soldier, you don't put him in that scene, right? That doesn't. I'm talking about like at the end, right? The scene that you put him in is like him walking through the neighborhood when they first go to meet Sam Wilson as Falcon, and he's just like walking his dog up the street, right? It's like it's never addressed. Nobody ever talks about it, and the next time you actually see him interact with somebody is in like Avengers, right? In Avengers movie, or in his next movie, right? So that I think that's a good way to insert him without making it like a little bit too much. It's like very similar to Stan Lee. Like Stan Lee definitely always had a line for sure, but even if you do give like Ryan Reynolds or Deadpool a line, just have it be like about nothing over here, right? That kind of thing. Like remember in Avengers, I want to no, it wasn't that wasn't Avengers either. Captain America: Civil War, where Stan came up and said Tony stank, like that kind of situation. But obviously, not interacting with the characters to not take it out. You know what I'm saying? Meteor Man, yeah, Meteor Man. Um, that's what I would like your feedback on. Oh, tomorrow you're seeing the Watchers. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely be putting out a review for Bad Boys 4. I cannot promise I'm going to put out a review for The Watchers because I've honestly slowed down quite a bit in terms of like the content that I'm putting out. I'm going to clip out these clips from these live streams. I'm also going to do movie reviews pretty consistently of like the bigger movies. I want to do the smaller movies, but since I started working, stuff has like the time constraint be constraining. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure. Now I feel bad, but probably don't want spoilers. So peace out, kid. No problem, man. No problem at all, dude. No problem at all. I totally understand. J5, Johnny number five. I'm not sure what you mean. From Short Circuit, y'all know nothing about Short Circuit. Meteor Man is fun, but I love Blank Man. Yeah, I've seen Meteor Man. I know I've seen Blank Man, but it has to have been over like 2 decades ago that I've seen those. Let me just take a sip of my hot cocoa. I know I'm wearing a hoodie in 80-degree weather, and I got some hot cocoa on. But I'm telling you, yo, I'm so ready for the finals to get here finally tomorrow because there's been nothing to do and nothing to talk about. So yeah. All right. So, uh, oh, J5. Yeah, see, I haven't seen it in like in probably over 2 decades, yo. I'm so like it's so crazy that I'm old enough to say I did something 2 decades ago. Still blows my mind. Can we all agree that the market guy is super shady? I think he's a Sith with who smiles. I don't know who you're talking about, buddy. Let me know. Is my message not showing up? I would definitely like you to check out either American Sniper Review or my video of my pickups from May, so I can have your feedback. Got you. No, I didn't see that message for that feedback at all. If you're talking about like your list that you put out, I can't give you a feedback on everything that you got. I do. I will say like one of the things that I'm most excited to check out myself is Glory because I haven't seen it. I know I haven't seen it. I'm sorry to the black delegation. I know I need to see it with the glory tier. I know about the glory tier. I know about Morgan Freeman. I know get your hands off me. Like I you know what I'm saying. So that might be a different movie actually, but yeah, I'll get to it at some point. Yeah, an American Sniper is a movie I saw when it came out. Like I saw it the weekend that it came out all those years ago. I haven't seen it since. It's not something I'm ever going to revisit, but I will, visit your review when it once I do see it. J5 was Blank Man. Blank Man's R2D2. That's hilarious. I need to see this again. Mavs. I'm thinking Mavs in 7 or 6 because I feel like if the Celtics win, they do it in 7. If the Mavs win, they can probably do it in 6. Because the truth be told, the Mavs have been bullying people. Like, and they've taken out almost all of the like the marquee, like like the Wolves have taken out the champs and they've taken out the Phoenix Suns with KD and Booker and Bradley Beal, if you want to call them a star still. But the Mavs have taken out some tough competition as well. And then they just took out the Wolves, who everybody said was going to win the whole thing, which I thought so too. After they took out Denver, I was like, they're for sure winning the whole thing. And then the Mavs showed up. The guy that gave made a poison vow. Got you. All right. So with that being said, let's get into the Acolyte. So yeah. Pardon me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Going to change venues a little bit. What's that behind me? It's the Acolyte. So I guess I won't change venues, but I will put on. So the Acolyte. The Acolyte is a show I was really looking forward to, even though like there was a little bit of trepidation regarding the show, because honestly, I feel like I've been burned from the past couple of Star Wars shows. Like the Mando season 3 wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the worst either, but it wasn't the greatest. And Ahsoka is a show that was really interesting because, or an interesting experience because it was a show that I thoroughly enjoyed lots of parts of it whilst complaining about a lot of parts of it at the same time. So it was a really interesting experience because it was like, I think at that point, I was just happy to have Star Wars, but they did do some really cool things in Ahsoka. So coming into the Acolyte, with episode 1 and 2 dropped last night. And I have to say, I was entertained. I was impressed. And overall, I'm looking forward to the rest of the series. I think Amanda Steinbecker. I do not believe that's her last name, but I think the young woman who plays Osha and May. I think that she's phenomenal. I also think that that Soul, the Jedi Master Soul, he's great. The gentleman from the main character from Squid Game. I'm so excited that he got into Star Wars, going from Squid Game, which was great, to Star Wars. That's a phenomenal jump, especially in such a lead and important role in the show. But I have to say, so some of the things that I really enjoyed about the show so far was the story that they're telling. Now I know that some people are like twins again, But honestly, I think that the way that they've done this twin storyline, while not the most original thing, has been done really well. And I have a theory about how things are going to end up with these twins that I definitely want to talk to you guys about. But let's talk about some of the things I really liked about the show. The action, the fight scene that this the fight scene that this show started out with was absolutely incredible. Like the way, oh, spoilers, by the way, spoilers for the Acolyte. As a matter of fact, let me. No, I don't need to do that actually. But yeah, spoilers for the Acolyte. I'm going to be going to full spoiler uh territory. Yep. So yeah, the fight scenes for the Acolyte were incredible. So like it's the hand to hand combat. It's the hand to hand combat for me. Like the way that May, who fought the Jedi that Carrie Ann Moss is portraying or was portraying for maybe like 5 minutes. That fight, like just going knives, like short knives versus lightsaber, like that fight was so dope. It was giving Matrix, is what it was. It was giving Matrix, and I really felt like the connection between the two characters in that moment because you could tell that for one, Carrie Ann Moss's character was surprised to see May in that way the there's clearly like a past between her, May, and the four Jedi that she's trying to kill. We don't know what that is yet, but I'm excited to find out. But the thing that I'm most excited about is seeing how these two characters of May and Osha transition throughout the rest of the show. Because here's my theory, right? My theory is this: when and based on this, when May, okay, cool, no problem. I definitely understand people have to skip out on spoiler talk. Totally understand. When May is when May first finds out that Osha was alive, she was shocked, right? She's been trying to kill off these Jedi who she believes wronged her village. And I believe that her master is the person who planted in her head that that Osha was dead. When Osha finds out that May is still alive, her reaction is shock, yes. But when they finally talk to one another or meet up to one another, in the village when they're like after they set up the trap for May after May's like killed both Jedi. One of the things that I noticed immediately was that May's reaction to finding out that Osha was dead was like of caring. She wanted to see Osha again. She wanted to be like, oh my God, my sister's back, right? I can't believe it. I was told that she was dead. May comes around and no, I'm sorry, Osha comes around and she just starts shooting. Like she sees her sister. She's like, oh, she alive? A word? Pop! Like she just starts shooting off and saying to the people around her, to Soul and to Dreadhead the Dreadhead Jedi dude who was annoying as hell. I cannot believe I can't remember his name. Let me actually look this up because I have the ability to edit things later on. But oops. So yeah. So like when Dreadhead boy Jedi, whose name I'm going to look up real quick. I was about to look up Ahsoka. The Acolyte cast. Here we go. Quimir Yord. This boy Yord, man. Yord is a trip. So when Yord is around and yeah, so she tells Yord, she tells Soul like no, like that, like she destroyed our village. She was the person responsible for killing our family, for taking out like everybody that who we knew and who we loved, and Osha just starts popping off. So as you can see, like as you'll see, like the first thing that we see is that May who's angry that her sister, or who's relieved that her sister are alive, starts off on the dark side. She's out here with the boy with the red lightsaber, who we don't know what his name is or who he is yet. And you see Osha, who starts off on on the light side. She's a former Jedi. She believes she hasn't been a Jedi for 6 years. They're saying that she was too old to be a Jedi when she started out. Classic like Luke Skywalker thing. Classic like Anakin Skywalker thing. All the kids who make the most ripples in the Star Wars universe are the ones who are too old to be trained, and then they turn out to be either great like Luke or great in the worst way possible like Darth, right? I think that these two twins are going to switch places by the end of the show. I think that Osha is going to go fully to the dark side. I think May is going to go fully to the light side. May's going to go to the light side because the hope that she had was crushed when she thought that her sister was gone. And now that hope has returned, right? And May is so angry at, no, and Osha is so angry at May that she tried to kill her the moment that she saw her sister, who she thought was dead for 16 years. That's Sith behavior, right? That's dark side behavior, clearly. And I think that the way that the show plays out, I think that Acolyte is actually Osha and not May. Now, the other part of this theory, or a caveat to this theory, if you will, is that May and Osha both realize that the Jedi be on some BS, and they both go to the dark side. They both turn away from the Jedi because May is like, y'all, took my sister, and you tried to raise her right, but I've been told by my master all about the Jedi and why they're wrong. She had been talking to Kamir, like in the store, the guy who gave her the potion, or not the potion, the poison rather, to kill the second Jedi that she took out. She had told him, or they were talking all about how the Jedi were bad and they were wrong, and so on and so forth. And yeah, on the other side, and I think that on the other side, I think that May, it was kicked out. I think Osha said that she left by her own will, but somebody else made the assertion that she was actually kicked out. And I think that she was kicked out for those dark side tendencies. So that's just one major theory that I have going on. That by the end of the season, we're going to see those two switch places, or they're both going to join forces and say, nah, the Jedi suck. We're both the Acolyte. We're the Acolytes, right? So other things that I really enjoyed about the show, I actually did enjoy Yord. I actually did, like, as annoying as the character is annoying, not because the actor isn't doing a good job, but because the actor is playing the role that he was given, right? This character is supposed to be the self-righteous, kind of like by the book type of Jedi that Jedis hate. And our guy Soul is more of the Qui-Gon Jinn kind of Jedi, where he goes, he's a part of the order. He was teaching the younglings in the beginning, but he's got a little Qui-Gon in him. Like, nah, I know you guys don't want me to bend the rules for the kid that I love, the attachment that I have, but I think I'm going to do that because that's what feels right. I feel like that's where the Force is leading me, and not where the Jedi Order is leading me. So I have a feeling that Soul by the end of the show is going to be dead, unfortunately. But but yeah, and I also think that the Padawan, not Soul's Padawan, but yours Padawan, I think that also, for one, she's dope. She came up with a great plan to capture May. She came up with a great plan to capture May, and I'm happy that they actually listened to her. That they showed that no, we're not just like some stuffy Jedi who believe that we know all. I heard the wisdom of a child or a young lady, and we're going to go forward and listen to. And it worked. The plan worked. They drew May out. They captured, or they're about to capture May before Osha just popped off at her. Right. Osha was just popping off at her with the blaster. So yeah, I do think that this show has a lot of potential. I'm thoroughly enjoying this show. Let me actually go to your comments and see what you're. I know my guy 80s kid probably has a lot to say about this, but yeah. Also, oh, one last thing I want to say about the show. I was not a person who enjoyed Andor. I know, sacrilegious, I know. But the reason why I didn't enjoy Andor is because it didn't all the way feel like Star Wars. Now, I'm not going to say it wasn't Star Wars, but I felt like Andor was missing some key components to Star Wars. And two of those components really were aliens and droids. There was one droid in Andor that actually had like some impact on the story. But other than that, I was just looking at a bunch of humans. And the part of the aesthetic of Star Wars is aliens and dope like different aliens speaking different languages, aliens like having like you need the subtitles for them kind of thing. And I thought that while Andor's last, I want to say 6 episodes were good, I thought like the first 6 episodes were not as good. I think was it 9 or 12 episodes. I don't remember, but I do like after Andor left the prison, I thought that the show got really good. Before that, the heist, the prison situation, the couple days that he had off between the heist and actually ending up in prison, which him ending up in prison was one of the most random things I've ever seen in the show. I thought that, and even like him hooking up with the guy who was like part of the rebellion secretly. I thought that all that stuff kind of was just slow, right? It was just, and I don't mind slow burns. I'm saying it was boring. I was bored for most of it up until the revolution arc at the very end, right? But it didn't feel like Star Wars because it's way too many humans, and not enough aliens, not enough droids, not enough of that Star Wars aesthetic, right? So part of that is the reason why I actually love or am loving so far the Acolyte, like the separatists in the beginning, right at the beginning of the show when Osha was repairing the ship and going out there and doing those repairs, like the separatists that were on the ship. I didn't think that they would show up because they're Asian caricatures. So I actually didn't think that those characters would ever show up because of that. But Bruno, what are you doing in here? Sorry, my dog just walked in like a madman. So you're just gonna lay down your life? You're gonna lay down your life for Christ? Anyway, so not Bruno. So the Acolyte, I thought that it did a really good job with that and bringing the Star Wars feel back to Star Wars. Also, last thing I'll say about this before I get to the comments. This is a TV show. I think that needs to be said. If you want to feel like a Star Wars movie, you should probably watch a Star Wars movie. A Star Wars movie is where you're going to get the best effects. This show has really good effects. A Star Wars movie is where you're going to have a 2 hour story or 2.5 hour story told in 2.5 hours worth of time. A TV show has beats. A TV show is going to last over, I think this is what, 6 episodes, 6 to 8 episodes. And so the storytelling is going to be long. We're used to in Star Wars movies from minute 1 to minute 2:30 or however long those movies last. There's a complete story there. It's a different feeling. It's a different medium. It's going to be so. Now you're going to walk out after opening my door. Now you're going to walk. Now you're going to lay in the hallway. Bruno D'Angelo Sparks. That's what you're doing. Sorry, my dog is disrespectful. I used to have loyal dogs, but I mean he's so loyal, but he is who he is. But yeah, so that's essentially my thoughts on it. I see that some people are coming in a little later, so I will reiterate my thoughts as we go on. But yeah, so let's go into the comments. And I'm grabbing my mic and holding it like this because that's typically how I do my reviews. It's how I relax. It's therapeutic for a brother. So yeah, let's go into this real quick. Get through some of these comments. I saw Della movie say, have a good one. Got to skip out on spoiler talk. No problem whatsoever, man. Hope you have a good night. You're probably not here to hear this, but hope you have a good night. Zach, what up? And no Diddy. Oh, Zach was doing some diddling. Hold on. Um, oh yeah, the guy that gave me a poison vial. Got you. Boston have so much talent, but that real defense turned these young bulls into cream puffs. And Dallas's defense, which is crazy when you think about Luca and you think about Kyrie, you don't think defense, but they have proven that they have been committed to defense, and I think that is what's going to help them win this series. They may lose a series. I mean, Al Horford. I would love to see Al Horford get it. I'm a Sixers fan, so that's kind of sacrilegious. But Al Horford has been in the league a long time. You always like to see those long time vets get a ring, right? Um, no Diddy. Oh, cream. Boy, you wilding out. Your camera quality looks amazing today. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That means a lot coming from you. I figured out that it was a hardware acceleration that was messing up my streams before, so I found that setting in Google Chrome, turned that hardware acceleration off, and now we not lag we're not lagging no more. You know what I'm saying? We're not lagging no more. You know what I'm saying? We out here. We got money now. We got money. No. Soul's just a badass. He is a badass for sure. Yep. Hey, Nanette, what's up? What's up, Nanette? Soul. Yep. No, I got what you meant. Have a good one. Got to skip out spoiler. Yep. Right there. Zach, what up? And no Diddy. No Diddly, no doubt. Nano. Mm-hmm. Hey. Oh, Nano. Got you. People saying hi to each other. That's what's up. I think the Sith who smiles kidnapped young May and told her a lie. Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I think that May got kidnapped, got told that the village thing. No, I think that May knows that she started that fire. Ryan started the fire. That's an office, John, if you don't know. But yeah, I think that May was told for sure. She was for sure told, especially with DeRay, that she reacted to OSHA coming back, that OSHA was dead. Yord, Frank, OSHA? No, Frank OSHA. How cool is Jackie? Who is Jackie? Is Jackie the young lady Jedi? She's dope. If that's who you're talking about, I do like her. I also like OSHA's droid, her little pocket droid. That dude's dope. Like I don't know if it's a dude, but that droid is dope. Like I would love to have the screwdriver droid, the do-all droid. That would be dope. I would love that. Andor was lame, overrated, and boring, and had no color. I mean, facts. Can't disagree with you there. Lame. Yeah, I gotta agree. Needs more Jar Jar, maybe. Sir, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me, Kyle. No one needs more Jar Jar unless it's Darth Sith Jar Jar. That's the Jar Jar I would like to see. Bruno, is he a Sith? I think he is sometimes because the way that he be plotting, like and having that connection to the food that's on my plate, I think he's a Sith because he be jealous. Yo, Ace, what's up, Ken? Love the first 2 episodes of the Acolyte. So did I. I loved it. I had a great time with it. I love the twin barrage, the twin journey. We're doing spoilers, so ask away. I love the twinness of it. I just think that they're setting up a good exchanging of philosophies, exchanging of roles, and I think that is going to be really interesting throughout. And then seeing all of the supporting characters have to orient their lives around these 2 young women between May and OSHA, actually changing the future of the universe. Hopefully, the story has some impact, and even if it doesn't, that was one other thing I wanted to say. This is what I wanted from Star Wars. This is what I wanted from Star Wars. My very first video I ever put on YouTube, I talk about how much I love Star Wars Visions and how much Disney was missing out on money and on notoriety by not investing in turning some of these Star Wars Visions shorts into long-term and long-form shows. The Ninth Jedi is one I can think of off the top of my head. The dancer assassin lady from Volume 2 was amazing. There's so many different. Actually, honestly, I think all of those shorts should have been made into long-term series. And the reason why is because even though I didn't like every short, there are people who like every short, right? There are people who like one of those shorts of every one. So even not Bohemian Rhapsody, but Tatooine Rhapsody, right? The little kids one with the band and stuff of that nature. I really believe that kids would eat that up. Kids would love to follow that band, even though those kids went into a slave contract, which was crazy with Jabba. They have no idea what they just signed. They might as well just sign with Diddy, basically. Like Jabba the Hutt might as well be Diddy in Star Wars because he be diddling too, I'm sure, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so they went into a bad record contract. Those kids in that band and Tatooine Rhapsody, but I think that kids would love to follow on that show, even though it's a wild show to follow, considering what I just said. Um, and the reason why I bring that up is because this show is set 100 years before Skywalker nonsense. And I want shows that are set 100 years, that are set way in the future past Skywalker nonsense or way in the past before Skywalker nonsense. I'm tired of the Skywalkers. Do something else. Like T-Pain said, do something else. Like, so the one of the other reasons why I really like the show is because I don't feel like I have to weigh whether or not it's connected to Han Solo or Luke Skywalker or the Empire or all this other stuff. I can watch these brand new characters and judge them on their own merit. I don't have to consider the text, right? I'm basically watching a brand new show. Well, obviously it's a brand new show, but I'm basically watching a brand new storyline in the Star Wars universe that doesn't have to impact anything else. And I can freely sit without thinking about, oh, how does that connect to that? Or that contradicts that. Now, maybe there's some like Sith or Force like stuff. Oh, the Force couldn't do this before. Personally, I don't care that much. Like, I love Star Wars, but I'm not going to let, oh, this Force did this here, but didn't do this here, like kind of ruin my experience with it. That's just not going to be me, right? So I'm actually really happy that they have made a show with completely brand new characters that we've never met before, and that we can just enjoy them for who they are. That's at least that's how I'm deciding to enjoy the show. Yep, I'm glad that you loved it. Bruna said all them characters, bitch. Yo, for real. No, Bruno do not care about Star Wars. He will like just eat your plate, dog. You're grabbing your what? No Diddy. What was I grabbing? I hope not. You think the Acolyte was slow burn or a fast pace? That's an interesting question because you can call it a slow burn because people were moving at a slow pace, but we got from 0 to 100. We know exactly where we are in this story after the first two episodes. There's twins who have beef against one another. They're in the middle of a time of peacetime with the Jedi. They're because of their relationship and the fact that there's a Sith or a dark force user. I don't know if you want to call him a Sith right now. In the background, leading May into destruction, I guess you can say. Like, I think that we have the setup for the story. It's not a situation where some Disney Plus shows you get to episode 4 or 5 of a 6-episode series and you're like, okay, so what are we doing here? Like, what's the turning point? Like, what is the crux? Like, what are we after? Right? I feel like this show is clear. We're after the relationships between. We're after the resolution and the restoration of the relationship between May and Osha. Whether that happens or not, that's what we're shooting for. And we're after stopping May from killing the Wookiee Jedi and killing Soul. So that's where we are. That's the stage that's set up. So I feel like people sometimes in these Star Wars shows like Ahsoka walk a little slow, but I think that we're getting really far in the story. If you recall, Ahsoka, speaking of which, kind of. I think Galen, was it? The gentleman who was played by the actor who passed away. We got to the last episode, and he never said out of his mouth what he was looking for. He's like, "Oh, I just feel it. I feel it." Like, he was feeling it, and like this, I have a deep connection to this place. And it was like, dude, connect the dots for us. Like, let us know. And then at the end, like he just Shin, he just dismisses Shin and like, wait, what happened with that? Obviously, that would have been resolved in season two. I'm pretty sure we're getting a season two, but they dragged us along for a whole like season of this guy saying, "I feel like I should be here," and then never telling us what the hell he was after. Um, Acolyte is just too damn cool. Woohoo! Yeah, I agree. Acolyte is dope. I'm enjoying it. Also, was is it just me? I'll get to this real quick. Real quick. Nah. Was it just me, or was like I didn't watch a lot of the advertisements for the Acolyte, so I did not know that there were going to be twins in this show. Bars, but I did not know that there were going to be twins in the show. Like I had no clue, so I was kind of like surprised by that. Like it didn't take long to figure it out though, because as soon as you move away from the May assassination of Trinity, uh, and you meet Osha, Osha's hair is short, way shorter than May's. So it's kind of like that's not the same person. And her temperament and everything about her is like they're twins. So yeah. Okay, so I saw you were live and decided, hey, I'm so glad that you popped in, and that always glad to have you. Jackie's the girl in the cockpit who blocked May. Yeah, I like her. I think she's dope. I think she has spunk. She gives me Hermione. She gives me a lot of Hermione in her personhood. Like I do like enjoy kind of her Hermioneisms and her just kind of telling Yord off all the time. What the hell is Yord doing naked in the ship? Like, what you doing, bro? Like, you at work. Um, I think Bruno is a Sith Lord. Bruno being a Sith Lord would be great. I would love to have my own personal Sith Lord. He'd probably make me walk him every day. I do walk my dog. Just chill out. Yeah, the Acolyte is the first fresh Star Wars project since Revenge of the Sith. The first fresh Star Wars project? Nah, Rogue One. Rogue One was freshy fresh. If you mean like fresh, like not connected to anything, I would also venture to say that Star Wars Visions was fresh. If you're talking about like live action, like not connected to anything, well, I would say Mando, season one at least, and until we get to season two, start having a lot more interaction. But yeah, I'm loving this. I'm loving the show. So, hey, the Ace Avenue gifted somebody a membership. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, Ace. Ace, you do this every time you come in, and I'm always appreciative. So, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Congrats on the Dell got it. Dope. That's what's up. That is what's up. I'm so happy Dell got it. That's awesome. Thank you for gifting a membership. The Ace Avenue. Yep. Yeah. Big thanks. Thank you. Yep. I said the same thing. I'm happy it's not really connected to the other Skywalker saga. So am I, man. Like, do something else, please. Acolyte is at number 1. Mando's at number 2. Ahsoka's at number 3. Let me think about that. And you also have, no, you said, no, wait, Kenobi's at number 3. So, okay. So, I'll go back to your Acolyte point. Acolyte at the first 2 episodes, I can't put it at number 1 yet because they could fumble the bag over the next 4 episodes and it could all go to hell. Although I will say right now, it's doing really well. Mando for me right now, as far as the Disney Plus shows go, is still number 1 until the Acolyte finishes well, right? These shows have to finish well. So Mando will be my number 1. I would say Ahsoka is number 2. I would say Kenobi. Kenobi. I liked a lot of parts of Kenobi. I especially liked when Kenobi and Darth Vader interacted a lot, especially that final fight. That final fight was really dope. I actually really liked that fight and the dialogue during the fight and the dialogue during the first fight that they had. Everything else could have gone by the wayside, right? So I guess I would say I'm not going to rank Acolyte yet. So I guess I would say Kenobi is number 3 by default, because by default, Book of Boba Fett is one of the biggest pieces of trash I've ever seen come out of Lucasfilm. Like, that show is freaking awful. Awful. And you know what the biggest sin about that show is, 80s kid? The trailer was amazing. It was dope. It was like, I am Boba Fett. I will take over the Tatooine. Why are we back on Tatooine, by the way? I will take over Tatooine. I will be the mob boss. I will take over Jabba's late position. You know what I mean? So we had like Book of Boba Fett had an amazing trailers, but then didn't deliver a goddamn thing. Like it. Oh, what it did give us is two dope Mandalorian episodes. Other than that, like it didn't. Oh God, yeah. So, salute, perp. What's up? You're good to see you, bro. Thank you for joining the stream. I will say Reva's story made no sense. Man, why the hell did she run after that child? To do what? For who? What was she gonna do with the child? Anyway, so yeah. Uh, uh, however, comma, I think the actress got a lot of crap that she didn't deserve for performing, just similar to Sabine, for performing a role that she was directed to perform in that way. In a very similar to way, in a very similar way to the way Hayden Christensen, who was awful in episode two, pardon me, who was awful in episode two, despite his direction. He was awful, and a large part of that is the direction. I think that a lot of times, the George Lucas is not necessarily the greatest actors director. He's a good storyteller. He's a good storyboarder, um, but he is not the best at giving directions to his actors. I believe that I believe that Lucas, and who only directed A New Hope, by the way, um, got a lot of help from his cast, and then other directors really got those performances out of the original trilogy cast, right? So yeah, yo, what up, Tang? What's up? So Tang, I'm actually going to give you my theory right now. I'm going to reiterate my theory from earlier just to let you know what this is, right? My theory is, and this is spoiler talk, my theory is that OSHA, who has started out on the good side, OSHA has started out on the good side. When she sees May, I'm sorry, when she sees May, essentially she just starts popping off, right? And part of her just popping off was because she was angry that May was still alive. May, when she hears that Osha's still alive, is like, oh my, she's still alive. My sister's alive. Yeah, I can't believe it. Like it's similar. I can't believe what I'm saying. It's similar to when Nala found out that Simba was still alive. He's alive. And she was like, oh my God, I'm going to go find him. Right. So they have two very different reactions. Osha's reaction feels more like a Sith's reaction, a dark side reaction, a reaction to, no, I haven't seen you in 16 years. I thought you were dead, but since you ain't dead for what you did to my village, you gonna die now. That's a very Sith thing to do. And before she had told, I think, Yord that she had willingly left the order, right? But someone else indicated that, no, you were kicked out. So I'm back. I believe I'm back. Let me just make sure everything is good. That's a very simple thing to do to stop my momentum. Speaker, AirPods, mic. No, not the fault. Let's to El Gato Wave. Okay, cool. I'm back. So, just real quick. So, thanks for hanging out, y'all. So yeah. So basically, uh, yeah. So my train of thought was lost. So basically, OSHA's like, I left y'all ain't kicked me out, and they're like, no, you got kicked out. So I think that OSHA has really shown that she has dark side tendencies, and May, whose hope was taken away. This is my theory. May, whose hope was taken away from her when she thought that she killed her entire village, including her sister, was scooped up by the Sith. And I think what's going to happen is by the end of the show, they're going to switch places. Oksha's going to the dark side because she's already shown dark side. May's going to the light side because now she has the hope that she lost. This show is dope. I like it. I know some people are trepidatious about it, and they are rightfully so. Everybody has a right to their opinion. I'm never going to trash y'all for your opinion. That's not what we do. This show used to be called, this channel used to be called See for Yourself for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're saying something mad ignorant, I'm not going like super challenge you on, or like just uninformed, right? So that's my theory. My theory is that over the course of this show, by the end of the show, they're going to switch places. Or the caveat is they both realize that the Jedi be on some BS sometimes, and they're both going to turn them, and they both become the acolytes, right? Instead of just one acolyte. So that's essentially my theory. But yeah, let's get back to these comments. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. Not to say that you have to go. But yeah, so Little Leia and Vader versus Kenobi at the final episode was dope, but the rest of the show was wax sauce. Yeah, I really wish that the rest of Kenobi was better, man. I really do. I really, really do. Especially like we were so excited to see Ewan McGregor back, right? Boba Fett was the biggest fumble in Star Wars history. Hallelujah. I don't know if I want to say thank you, Jesus, but hallelujah. I acknowledge you, Jesus. That is the truth. They nerfed my boy. Boba was, yeah, they definitely nerfed him. But to be fair, all this dude did was stand and look cool and end up in a Sarlacc pit. What did Boba ever do to be cool? Now, I know there's comics, but in the movies, you just kind of look cool. I know that's blasphemy to some people. I'm sorry. I know I might lose some viewers. Vader didn't even know he had children. Palpatine, Jedi. Yeah. Who is Boba Fett? Boba Fett. Oh, this is answer right here. Oh no, I thought it was answer right there. Boba Fett was a bounty hunter who Darth Vader hired to find his son Luke Skywalker. He's really cool looking dude who we wanted more from in his lore, but what we got was unfortunate. The Boba Fett show literally had the story from Parks and Rec. Patton Oswalt said it's crazy, like exactly happened. I need to go look that up because I know that famous monologue that he does, and I really need to go look that up to see what you're saying. Yeah, agree. The best Star Wars movies weren't directed by Lucas. Correct, including Rogue One, which is tied for number one with me at with Empire. Reva, the only Star Wars character who managed to get impaled twice and still kicking. Yeah. Now, I want to be honest. I didn't have a problem with that. Here's why. Darth Maul got his leg. He got cut in half and fell down a shaft, and the dude came back. We've seen people survive some crazy stuff, so I wasn't too crazy about that. But at the same time, people have survived in this world, man. They have survived. Lucas also directed the prequels. Oh yeah, I know that Lucas directed the prequels, which is why they're not. Other than, I will give you this: Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorite Star Wars movies. That movie's awesome. Episode 1 and Episode 2. Episode 2 more than so than Episode 1. Episode 2 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Not Star Wars movies. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. Episode 1 has some great elements to it, but as a movie overall, it's a little lacking. However, Duel of the Fates at the end, the fight between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, classic officials, awesome. Also, I want to give pod racing. Pod racing is fun as hell. I don't care what nobody says. Crazy to think that Acolyte has double the budget of the Kenobi show. What are your thoughts on that, Ken? I think it's interesting because I wonder when everything was filmed, right? Because a lot of times we don't know, like, well, maybe we do know because there's always reports on these things. Having doubled the budget, here's the thing. The Separatist aliens in the beginning looked awesome. Her little droid pack on her hip, the one I really want to do tooling and things around the house, looked awesome. Like everything looked amazing. I don't think that these shows should cost $180 million. Now, granted, we're getting movie quality in a lot of times, not every time, a lot of times on these shows, but that was part of the old Disney model where everything Disney model where everything would be a movie cut up into TV shows, except for like Book of Boba Fett, which definitely felt like a streaming show. But honestly, I think the only time we complain about how much a show costs is when it's bad. If it turns out to be good, no one cares. Game of Thrones. If Game of Thrones costs like 20 million or something dollars an episode, if the season's trash, we're like, what the hell did you spend that money on? If the season's great, oh that was amazing. Spend double next time, right? So I think it really depends on how things turn out. All right, so Nanette says, Kenny, I can't. Oh, okay, yeah, that's when I was having audio issues. Oh boy, Tank. Oh boy, Tank, aka give me my Star Wars like I want, has entered the chat. Oh, don't do that to Tank. Tank, Tank wants his Star Wars, and just like the rest of the Spoiler Kings crew, they want to enjoy Star Wars. They want good stories. They want stories that they believe are well written, well inspired, and we may disagree on what that is. But you know, I know you're joking. I know you're joking. So I know you're not being serious, Kyle. But yeah, like people are going to like the Acolyte. People are not going to like the Acolyte. It's why you don't like the Acolyte for me. It's they got them black women's in it. They got them, you know, them Asians in Star Wars. That if you and I know they're not like that. So that like if that's your John, like shut the duck. You know what I mean? Shut the duck up. So hey, YouTube, I said duck. Shut the duck up. You can shut the duck up. But yeah, oh yeah, that's a interesting theory. I was really hoping it was the same person with a split personality, but we got more twins. But I can see this switch like that. I'm liking the show. I'm glad you're liking the show, man. That's good news. I know that you're teetering on it a little bit, which is totally fine. We're only 2 episodes in. We got like 4 episodes left, I believe. It could go to hell in the handbasket in the handbasket in the next episode. So you know, we don't know. I'm not going to declare this a victory yet. Acolyte is the greatest thing since cheesecake. Like 80s kid is going to declare it the great since cheesecake. I like cheesecake. I don't know, man. I might have a slice before I watch another Acolyte episode. Damn, Zach just spoiled that for me. He from now on will be Zachariah. That's crazy. Swear he just became cool out of nowhere. Who checking for Boba Fett? I think people have a like, but it's one of those things where it's like we don't know a lot about you, but you look cool. So, like, please do something with this character. I'll be honest with you. I didn't love the sequel trilogy, right? I was invested in Captain Phasma. I wanted to know how much of a badass she was, but she got capped in the second in episode 8, and she was no longer to be seen. What the hell happened with that? I love BB-8 in the sequel series. BB-8 was shoved to the sideline. Sucks. They had all those great characters and then wrote them terribly. It's wild. People survive Maddie Webb. They can survive a lot, for real. Boba Fett followed Han and got to Bespin first. He captured Han and delivered him to Jabba. Oh, and when he was a teenager, he killed Cad Bane in an unaired Clone Wars episode, which were unfinished. Interesting. Very interesting. Kilnaka is going to wreck those guys. And then, yeah, the Wookiee Jedi, I'm looking forward to that. So because if she rolls up on Kalnaka and if May rolls up on Kalnaka and takes him out quickly, I'm gonna be disappointed. I think Kalnaka needs to stand his ground, and I feel like it should be an episode long fight. Now I know I'm setting myself up for weird expectations, but it should be an episode long fight for real. Thank you all for explaining Boba Fett, guys. Absolutely, that's what we're here for. We're a community who wants to inform and not chide people when they ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Tank was hating on Yoda versus Emperor Hard on site when I see. Why did Yoda leave? Who exiled you? Into exile I must go. Who told you that? So you just quit? You had the Emperor on the ropes. All you did was follow a few stories. He's Palpatine. Palpy is up there. He's right there. You look up and say, nah, I don't feel like climbing tonight. I'm gonna go hit this jackpot and get out of here, or just eject drone and get out. And then you got him crawling through the little crawl space. It's like a little female dog. Like, come on, Yoda. Into exile failed. I have. You were winning. You fell one time. Pick your lightsaber and get back to work. Anyway, but yes, yeah. Also, that fight was awesome. Ting out here, set tripping. How many guys you got, bro? It's hilarious. The earlier screener said episode 3 of the show is the episode that will hook people. I'm already hooked, so I'm hoping to get hooked more. Hook me, baby. Pause. Pause anonymous. Phasma needs an animated show, but she ain't getting one. Yeah, unfortunately, she's not getting one. And I love me some Babu Frick. Hey, I love Babu Frick. I love Babu Frick. Like, the crazy thing was, yeah, I mean, it continued to be crazy because they kept introducing cool characters, and then they got shafted, shoved to the side. They in episode 8, I forget what episode 8 is called, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They sent this boy Finn on a dummy mission that had no impact on the story. None. It didn't help give the ship no gas that Ray was on. It didn't help the people land. He didn't do nothing. He did nothing. He went to the casino and freed the slaves. Free the slaves, my guy. I'm not Drake. I like when slaves are freed, right? But yeah, man, they sent this boy on a dummy mission. Yoda's not about that life. No, he's not. He's not. He was doing all that against Dooku, but he falls from the joint with Palpatine and then just dips. What was that? I know, like, it's like George said to himself, I gotta get him to Dagobah somehow. How do I get him to Dagobah? Well, have him be so depressed after the younglings die that he just goes off to Dagobah. He was done teaching. He was done like this Jedi Council life because he was so depressed that Anakin, who he allowed into the Jedi Order, killed younglings that he just had to go. He said to himself, I gotta go. I mean, granted, we wouldn't get to fight with Palpatine, or like have him lose properly to Palpatine, right? Have him fall into a shaft, like fall out. Having him make the choice to leave when nobody told him that he lost, except for himself. I lost, I have. Into exile I must go. Like, who told you that? Who? I've heard some people say like, oh, like, Yoda knew that one day Luke would grow up to, come and meet him on Dagobah. Sir, Yoda is wise and he's old and, he's been around the block, but don't give me no cockamamie BS like that. Come on now. Spoiler King says, yes. Or Tank says, yes, Kenny. Oh, I'm sorry. Kenny, yes. See, I'm reading like Yoda. Kenny, yes. Yoda had the upper hand on a dude that was turned into jerky from Windu, then ran out. Windu had him. Windu had him if Anakin didn't step in with his little emo self and cut Windu's arm off. Also, I know I've been saying like get away from the Star Wars saga because I like the fact that we're going 100 years back, and I like that, or I hope that one day we'll go 100 years or more into the future. But I would love to see Mace Windu come back personally. And with a robotic arm and Samuel Jackson having like one last hurrah, that's better than the Secret Invasion. Yeah. Yoda is what happened to the Jedi. Too many dumb decisions, like allowing a clone army to serve you when they created by your enemy. What was that decision? Yeah. Also, the one thing, and I think we're at an hour and a half. I'm going to end the stream in like 5 minutes. But the one thing that I will say about the Jedi, which I think a lot of people will agree, is that they created the Anakin situation. They were hypocritical the entire time, right? They were corrupt. They were hypocritical. Like, essentially, they told Anakin not to have any companions, right? Or not to have any attachments. But all throughout the prequel series, all you see is attachments everywhere. They denied this man his ability to love someone who he loved, right? Who he was hiding, but if he didn't hide her, she would have been kicked out, right? Um, I see your question, Tang. I'm definitely going to answer that because I do have some theories about that. They they denied this man, and if you watch the Clone Wars, I'm sorry, Obi-Wan had a love interest. Obi-Wan says to Anakin when they're done fighting, yeah, Satine. Yeah, Satine. I keep forgetting her name. Yeah, but Satine, yes. Obi-Wan had attachments, right? And Obi-Wan, what happens when Obi-Wan basically takes out Anakin? He says, I loved you. You know, Anakin, I loved you. You were my brother, right? It's like I don't know what sounds like more of an attachment, right? Even when Obi-Wan first confronts Anakin, he confronts him like, "Bro, I'm trying to appeal to you, man to man, brother to brother, right?" He's like, and Anakin's like, "You will try," you know what I mean? And then they do the flippity and they fight, which is awesome, amazing fight. I still think it's the best fight in all of Star Wars, right? Fight hand to hand or saber to saber fight. The one in the throne room in Return of the Jedi and the one versus Vader for sure in Empire Strikes Back are more emotional and more meaningful. I don't want to say more meaningful, but I can see somebody saying that that's a better fight. But I definitely think that the one in Episode 3 was that fight was amazing. In the juxtaposition between that and Yoda and Palpatine, but it's like all throughout, you guys have completely contradicted yourself over and over again, and that's why and then that's why Palpatine was like, not from a Jedi. You can. You're right. So he couldn't learn that from a Jedi. So they gave Palpatine an entryway. But yeah, so let's get to these. So and Qui-Gon would not be happy with Yoda. Probably. Probably. Oh, wait. Did I read this before? Yoda is what happened. Yeah, I did read that. Damn, y'all, yoga chose peace, and y'all calling him out. It wasn't peacetime. It's not peacetime. Like the whole situation under siege. Will we see Yoda in this show? I'm going to say two things that are contradictory. I hope not, because I don't want it to be connected to anything Skywalker. Anything Skywalker. I hope so, because it would be cool to see Yoda even 100 years earlier, maybe like getting when we like in the background kind of thing. Like we see him being anointed to the council 100 years before. I mean, so he's been on the council for like 100 years, which would be insane. But it'd be cool too. So I'm kind of half and half on it. Tank, you don't deserve one. What? What's happening? Kenobi and Satine. Yep, thank you. I do like the show that the show is showing that the Jedi are a little messed up. One dude said, I thought we were doing the right thing. Bingo. I know that the Jedi are their followers of the light side, right? Here's how I look at it, and this might be controversial. I look at it the same way I look at Christians and Christianity, right? The light side, you worship who you want. You're my God. I don't care who you worship, right? I don't care who you sleep with. Just do your thing. Unless you're on that jersey, don't be on that jersey. I feel like the light side is pure. I think like the people who serve and are in the light side and are of the light side can be corrupted, are fallible, are like they just have the ability to make decisions like attachments. I even think that the light side, I don't think the light side told these people not to have attachments. That's just weird, right? It's just like, yes, the light side, we embrace serving everyone, but don't you attach yourself to nobody. Like that's weird to me, right? So yeah. We never talk about we never talk about who she was grooming, how she was grooming Anakin. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I actually saw a reel about that earlier. I'll send it to you, Kyle. Matilda learned from the young. You talking about Leon the Professional? Oh, you were talking about Leon the Professional. Oh no, not Leon the Professional. And no, I've heard that said. I don't like it. Forget what Campy has said. The prequels are awesome. Campy can feel how he feels. I don't like the prequels either. Like uh, that's not true. I enjoy the experience of the prequels. I don't think that they're good movies, except for the third one, episode 3, rather. Prequels are great when compared to the trash sequels. Prequels weren't great. Not sorry. Yeah, the prequels weren't great. It's complicated. It's like that. It's like that pizza shop that you've always gone to, but sometimes they serve like some really bad slices. But you're like, I mean, but they've also served us some really good stuff, so we might as well keep coming here. I know there's going to be a blasphemous assertion by some people. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read this. Prequels are great. Oh no, yeah. Oh yeah. Compared to the sequels, that mess, absolutely not. Prequels had cool moments. That's it. It's a badass villain they killed in the same movie and one of the best sword saber fight scenes ever. So I've always believed this. Even before I saw Clone Wars, which was not but like a couple years ago, actually. Darth Maul should have been a 3-movie villain. Darth Maul should have been the villain of episode 1, 2, and he should have been killed in 3 by Anakin to take Anakin's or for Anakin to take his place by the side of the Emperor, the same way that Luke was trying to take, or the same way the Emperor was trying to get Luke to take Anakin's place or Darth Vader's place, right? We've never actually seen the successful transition from Sith, from Sith apprentices, right? That's always something that's pushed, right? That the Emperor will use people, and he will replace his Padawan or his Sith like that, right? But we never actually get to see that transpire. Because even no. I'm sorry, it did happen with Dooku. Hold on one second. Can you close that door? Take your canine with you. Bruno D'Angelo Sparks. Great. Thank you, sir. Love you. But we never actually, besides Dooku, because that was a transition, but it wasn't in the throne room and that kind of thing, right? But so for me, I'm saying cut Dooku out completely. Have Maul be a 3-movie villain. He becomes a badass. Him and Anakin fight several. Him, Anakin, and Obi-Wan fight several times over the next 2 movies, right? Or several times in episode 2, and that becomes a big part of that episode 2. Like they feel like he's unbeatable, right? And then in episode 3, Anakin finally defeats Darth Maul, but he doesn't in order to become the apprentice of the Emperor. That's a way better story because you put that awesome live action character in the animated series, and while he was cool in the animated series, I wasn't enjoying, like, the metal legs weren't nearly as cool as what Ray Park was doing. Like, he was doing the flippity flops, right? And the makeup was dope. And we only got this person, pardon me, we only got this person for maybe like half an hour of screen time, if that, right? Darth Maul was one of the coolest villains ever, and we only get to see him on screen for a couple minutes, other than the animated show. And it counts, but it doesn't count. Damn right, they should have. Maul was robbed. Maul was robbed. Correct. Kenny went like 6 emotions from that material because I kept realizing stuff over time. I was like, wait, oh no, not to connect. Oh, well, no, it connects. Oh no, yeah. So you got me with that one. But yeah, so that is our stream, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to try to talk about the Acolyte every week. I want to talk about it in a little bit more detail, be a little bit more organized. I do have my theories. I'm enjoying the show quite a bit. I'm hoping, like Tank said, that episode 3 will hook me even more than it already has. But yeah, thank y'all so much, man. This was a great time. I'm going to be streaming every Wednesday going forward. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming every Wednesday going forward. I'm going to try to do this at like 7:30. You know what I'm saying? Like 7:30-ish. and do it a little bit earlier because I want people to be rested up for Zach Milne's stream later on in the night. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to have to go back stream to stream. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, have a good night, everybody. This was great, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Whoop, I gotta press the second button, and I'll talk to you.